Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft. You are looking at the inside of my Delorean build. If you didn't see episode 1 of this series, I highly recommend you watch that. I'll put a link on the screen or down in the description or, somewhere. Uh, we have finished the outside of the car, as you can see, and since the last time you saw the car, I have gone in and just put the floor in because today we are going to be building the interior of this car. And unfortunately, I've been looking at some reference pictures. I'll put some up on the screen here, just like this one or that one, or ooh, look at that one, so nice. Unfortunately, the inside of this car is the same color as the outside of this car in pretty much every single iteration. All of the pictures I've found, the inside is either gray or black. And since black doesn't really show up all that well in Minecraft, we're going to go with gray. So, first things first is we should probably make a firewall, and I also want to make, I guess this would also be a firewall. The engine's in the back, so the DeLorean has actually a little parcel shelf in the back here for your belongings. So that will be step number one, will be to just close off the front and build in the parcel shelf. Okay, so there we go. I have not completely blocked off the front because we're going to be putting a dashboard in here and that'll cover that up. But we got the bottom footwell area covered up. We've also got our parcel shelf built, and I've actually just kind of guessed on the height of this. There's not a lot of pictures of the back part of the interior on a DeLorean. So I really just sort of eyeballed the height here. I might have to change it once I get everything else in. And I've also covered the floor in carpet as well. For the material, I actually chose just a regular gray wool rather than a light gray or a black. Hopefully, hopefully that looks good. I just wanted to get a little bit of contrast between the light gray concrete on the outside of the car and the inside of the car. I didn't want it to be all the same color. Yeah, I think it's working so far. We'll see how that goes. So next up, I think I'm just going to do the doors, and I think I will use concrete on the real car. The doors are sort of a vinyl leather sort of finish, so I'm going to use concrete for the leather slash vinyl panels, and I'll be using the wool for carpets and maybe the seats as well, even though the seats are vinyl or leather, not sure which. So we'll see how that looks. I think we'll just start by filling in the doors to give them a little bit of depth, because right now they're only one block wide right now. So I'll just fill these down and sort of make a door that has some thickness so that we get the inside width of the interior correct. And there it is. We have the door partially filled in. You can see this side is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. So I just filled it out. I also just put a layer of this gray concrete along the B pillar there and the A pillar, as well as covered the roof with it. I've also got this thing here, which is just a rough outline for now of where the armrest of the door is going to go. And this one right here, this is the edge of the dashboard. And now that I'm looking at this, I think this might actually have to move. I will probably move it up to there. Yes, that's where that's going to go. So that goes out there. And then this right here is just a mock-up of the center tunnel for the center console there. And then this skinny part up top is a part of the dashboard. That would be the height that this will be. So that's sort of what I did to... Oh, and also over here we have this, which is the seat back. So that's sort of the inclination of the seats. That's where the back of the seat is going to sit. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just start filling these in, and we'll see how things look once we've got a little bit more in place. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I've filled in the dashboard and the door a little bit. We got our armrest, a little grab handle here. Some black concrete is sort of the closest thing I can get to window switches and little trim pieces and whatnot. I took the line that we had just going up along the side here and just extended it right out across the car. And this here is the little border that goes around the instrument panels. So your radio and whatnot is going to go in there. Filled out the center console as well. I've also got a passenger seat here, or most of it. The seat back I think is looking really good. I like the way this looks, and I went with the light gray concrete rather than the gray concrete, so that the seats will stand out a little bit, and sort of brighten up the interior a bit. Once we copy this over to that side, this is no longer going to be light gray. It'll be dark like this. So having the light seats and the dark interior, I think will look pretty good. So now I just got to finish contouring this seat. I'll do the seat bottom very similar to what I did on the seat back there, and I gotta fill this in because this is still just open under here. And the footwell actually has some contouring to it. This doesn't go straight all the way back. It kind of comes in a little bit there, a little bit there. So I will update that as well, and then it'll be ready to copy this over to the other side. And there's the seat done, all contoured, looks very comfortable. Don't you just want to sit in it? Over here I went down and I just kind of brought this out a little bit, sort of smoothed out some of the hard corners on the floor. And now I think we are ready to flip this over to the other side and start working on the driver's seat. There we go. Now I will just start filling in the center console, the center stack, as well as building the steering wheel and gauge cluster. All right, the interior of the DeLorean is finished. And check out that view. I'm just kidding. Let's do a reveal in 3, 2, 1. There it is. How cool is that? We now have a fully completed DeLorean in Minecraft, complete with interior. We've got our leather seats here in beautiful gray concrete, and we've got our center console and our steering wheel and our gauge cluster with the lowest resolution gauges I've ever seen. But it was the 80s. They had to work with what they had. So yeah, that's the completed build. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. And there might be a little surprise for you in the next video, because of course you can't build a DeLorean without building the Back to the Future car. So that will be going up next week, Friday at 10 a.m. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.